on?
No, this is not a bit. I'm not doing a bit.
Hey guys, welcome to Next Gen Game Labs in Los Angeles. I am Regina Angley.
And I'm Josh Winfield.
And so we've got your top cut with Shawn Tang versus Peter Munoz up on screen for you guys. Peter is going to be on top screen? I'm actually not sure who's on top.
Peter sends out Magnezone and Mimikyu, and Shawn Tang brings out Muck and Tapu Fini.
Okay, I think Magnezone's a really fun choice. I have never seen it in any sort of actual competitive battle, so I'm kind of excited to see what's going to bring out here. It'll be fun against that Tapu Fini, I think, with that steel typing on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Magnezone is also habitually running the Electrium Z, so this is
that'll be nice.
A very interesting start because Peter's got Magnezone, but Shawn has Muck, and obviously Fini's pretty comfortable under Trick 'em too, except not comfortable enough. It switches out for Mudsdale.
Ooh, that Mudsdale's going to be a nice switch in because any sort of electric attacks from that. There we go. Nice call. Oh, whoa. Peter reading that really nicely, getting the critical hit on that Muck, proccing that berry. So that Muck is being the biggest threat on the field right now for him. But Shawn did kind of get that Mudsdale in for free for that Fini. Switching in on Peter's side for... actually, not sure. But, Hariyama. Oh. So now that Mudsdale is being threatened by this Hariyama. Knockoff coming in, getting rid of a bird.
So is that going to be Assault Vest or Assault Vest?
Nice call.
So this is a bit of an awkward situation because Muck is in a very good position against Mimikyu, and neither Mimikyu nor Hariyama can really take on Mudsdale that easily.
I'm super curious though to see like what that Mudsdale is going to do because getting that switch in from that Tapu Fini I think might have hurt Shawn just a little bit because that Hariyama would have been in a really nice position to get hit by Moonblast by that Tapu Fini. Not like with the Mimikyu, not sure if it's running any sort of crystal right now, so maybe Shawn is afraid of what that Mimikyu could do to its Fini. But that Muck kind of like scared of either that Hariyama. Oh, coming out with
close combat probably.
There we go. So Fini coming back out, kind of faking out on...
Hariyama is not afraid of that stamina boost, apparently, faking out Mudsdale.
So that's... and
Mimikyu goes for play rough.
Into the Tapu Fini spot. Smart call on Shawn's side then to switch into that. So Mudsdale flinching, but Shawn kind of comfortable in switching out for those Pokemon, I think. I kind of want to see that Magnezone back. But that Mudsdale is like a big
Mudsdale needs to be dealt with before Magnezone can come back in, I think.
And so that Tapu Fini is like really comfortable right now being brought out into that. I think a Moonblast should be able to take out that Hariyama. And we see a Z move coming in instead. Never Ending Nightmare? Destiny Ball? Who we got here? So
it's going to be
Never Ending Nightmare. Nice. And I think it's going to be going into that... Tapu
Fini, yeah. It could have gone into Mudsdale, but I don't think it would have KO'd with the stamina boost.
Oh, point. Good point. And like,
so I think that brings Tapu Fini almost down. And
procs the berry on that.
Yeah, Wiki Berry heals that Fini back up. Muddy Water coming in.
Connecting with both Pokemon, so we'll see if we get any accuracy drops on here.
I hope not. I hate those.
There's the accuracy drop on Hariyama.
Caster's Curse.
Mimikyu's disguise finally getting busted, so that leaves that Mimikyu open to some attacks. High horsepower. Doing a lot of damage on there. But,
the accuracy drop comes in clutch as Mudsdale keeps his item because Hariyama missed knockoff.
So Peter kind of in like a little tight position on here. Shawn kind of comfortable, I think, getting that nice accuracy drop from... so getting the accuracy drop on that Hariyama was, I think, really important because it paid off dividends like almost immediately.
Now both Mimikyu and Hariyama are a bit scared. Both of Shawn Tang's Pokemon are near full health, and anything could happen.
I think that Magnezone is coming back out, probably in a good enough range to take care of that Tapu Fini. The Mimikyu going in to try to take it down some more. Smart call to avoid that Moonblast. So not going to do a lot of damage to that Magnezone. So Peter really just trying to protect his Pokemon right now. The High Horsepower going into the Magnezone. Smart call on Peter's side. So picking up that KO. So Shawn kind of trading in really nicely on that and making a really good read. I think doubling up in that spot was smart because even if, regardless of whether or not the Hariyama was there, then the Moonblast would have taken care of the Hariyama, and then switching into the Magnezone takes care of that.
Magnezone.
So,
and even if the Hariyama had gotten hit by Moonblast, the High Horsepower would have gone straight to Mimikyu.
So really, really smart call on the Peter side right here, or on Shawn's side.
Yeah.
My bad. So kind of Peter like in more of a tighter spot. Probably gonna have to figure out how to like deal with some of those Pokemon on Shawn's
Finny
side.
protects to block the incoming fake out, presumably.
Oh,
but-
going into Mud.
Yeah.
So getting another stamina boost on that Mudsdale.
I'm not sure how Peter's going to deal with this. Does he have... I don't think he has a special attacker in the back now.
The Trick Room coming up. So that's
Bit of
not
a bold move in front of Mudsdale.
Not sure what Peter has in the back, so maybe something slower than Mudsdale. We kind of missed team preview, unfortunately. But that Mudsdale is like, I think, +2 now on that defense from what we've seen. So that Mudsdale gonna be able to hang on tight for a little bit longer on Shawn's side. That Tapu Fini putting in a lot of work, a lot of really good work. If it goes Muddy Water again, eventually it could get another accuracy drop, which could be big.
Porygon 2 comes in, covering for the wounded Finny. Gets a attack boost. So we've got some high special defense on the field right now. Heavy Slam comes in.
Doesn't do a lot to that Porygon too, so Shawn doing a smart job of protecting his Tapu Fini by switching out for it.
Mimikyu finally goes down, and we can see Peter's last Pokemon.
So that Mudsdale, I think, is a pretty big threat because all of those stamina boosts to it makes it a really tough one to take out. Snorlax.
You know, Mudsdale doesn't run close combat very often, but it is still a move that it gets, a move that it has used in the past, so we'll have to see if Shawn's Mudsdale has it. If it does, this is going to be a quick game.
So I think it'll be fun for this one because now that Snorlax is also in that Trick Room position, so if Shawn's Porygon 2 is running Trick Room, it could cancel it out as well. So the Belly Drum coming in, like most Snorlax have been running lately, procking the berry as well. So I think Peter, if he makes some pretty good calls, might be able to turn it around, as long as close combat coming in.
To Porygon 2, and takes it down. So, Snorlax is kind of Peter's last hope for taking down Mudsdale now, because at max attack, it might still be able to get through that stamina. Except here comes the close combat.
Nice call on that one.
Caster's Curse again, except Snorlax survives, barely.
Survives a critical hit, too.
That's
so
impressive.
That's really good to know.
This is why you see Snorlax everywhere now.
But I think, Peter gonna have to make some really, gonna have to think about some things in match 2 against Shawn's Pokemon, because Shawn did really well in switching out and calling certain Pokemon types out there. That Tapu Fini and the switching, and then doubling up on that on the Magma Zone earlier, I think really helped him as well in that. So. And then the Mudsdale getting the stamina boost. So, Shawn, I think, has this match that pretty much in the bag, and so Peter's gonna have to really change his strategy a little bit in match 2.
Yeah, I think a good call for game 2 would be to not lead with the Mimikyu. It didn't do a whole lot other than proccing Tapu Fini's berry, and as we can see, Shawn has the Trick Room matchup under control.
I do want to say though, running Body Slam on Snorlax, that's not a move that I've seen a lot personally.
Yeah, it's usually return. Yeah, usually return a high horsepower.
Ooh, getting the KO on that Hariyama. And so, I think what I like about Body Slam though, it does have that chance to paralyze. So it is always nice to have out there. So Tapu Fini coming out on Shawn's side. The Snorlax gonna have to do a lot of work if Peter wants to try to win this match. Actually, no, there's not a chance on that one. I was to say, this is 20 HP.
So pessimistic.
I was like, wait a minute, it's a 20 HP. But I think Shawn made some really smart calls in here.
Yeah, the choice of Body Slam on Snorlax is interesting because this is a fairly Trick Room oriented team. Again, we haven't seen team preview yet, so I'm not sure if there's something that will make the choice make sense, or if it's kind of just a last minute, oh shoot, I forgot to level the happiness for return choice.
Alright, and so we see the Poison Jab take out that Snorlax, giving match number 1 to Shawn. So now hopefully when we get to see team preview, we'll get to have a little bit more of an idea of what these guys are running. But I do think that Shawn played that first match really well. Like, I very much enjoyed his switch-ins. He made some really good calls. I like the fact that he chose to double up on certain spots. That's always, I think, something risky, especially when you have a lot of people running Protect on Pokemon. So
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still hung up on the Mimikyu lead, but Shawn did play that very well. He preserved his Pokemon well.
Oh, cool.
And,
So on
alright,
Peter's side, Hariyama, Porygon to Mimikyu, Snorlax, Arachnoquid, and Magnezone.
And on Shawn's side, I actually played him earlier. I totally forgot his team. He has Tapu Fini, Xurkitree, Mudsdale, Arcanine, Muck, and Porygon 2.
Oh, okay. So, excuse me. So I think the Trick Room lead does make a lot of sense. Seeing Shawn's side of the team, I think like that Xurkitree is scary only really to that Arachnoquid if it gets a couple of Tailglows off. That Magnezone isn't really super threatened by it, and not a lot of other Pokemon on Peter's side.
Yeah, but Magnezone can't really take it on that well either, I think, because it resists Thunderbolt, it resists Flash Cannon, and we are in.
I think I kind of want to see that Arcanine, because that Arcanine does have some pretty good matchup on the other side. Oh, it was Shawn's side. Yeah.
Just confirming with the TO who won last round. So from Peter's side, we see Mimikyu and Araquanid.
The Arachnoid coming in for the switch in, I think, to probably deal with that Mudsdale that
Oh,
we
yeah.
saw. So
And-
Muck Tapu Fini again.
Once again, Tapu Fini and Muck.
I think Muck is a Pokemon that I personally haven't been able to run, but Alola Muck is nice because it only has like such specific weaknesses, and it has a lot of roles it can fill. Like the knockoff on it is like, since you can knock off like a Focus Sash for like Mimikyu, or like berries or things like that. Like it can get rid of a lot of things that
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon can like.
Yeah, honestly, Snorlax with high horsepower is the only reason that Muck isn't the premier Trick Room counter, and it kind of already is, because you can knock off, you can
The Poison Jam on there.
yeah, you can curse. Like, as you can see here, it can knock off whatever Araquanid's got without too much trouble. It can knock off Mimikyu. Although I want to say Disguise would block the item removal, but that's something I don't know.
So Moonblast to break the disguise up on Shawn's side. The Arachnoid protecting, just I think to kind of see what's going to be happening on Shawn's side. So the Poison Jab coming in onto the Mimikyu. So Shawn making some really good calls on here, going after that one, not wanting to see that Trick Room. So that Araquanid is a lot more comfortable for the next turn.
With how naturally fast Mimikyu is, even if it's running, minimum speed, now that Trick Room's up and it's got such low health, Muck and Tapu Fini is a pretty scary combination to face. So Shawn may have already gotten clear of the Z move.
I think that like that Mimikyu did its job. It did set up the Trick Room like it needed to, and then that Magnezone was coming in probably to just
Deal
kind
with
of
Finny.
take an attack. Oh yeah, to deal with that Finny. So Liquidation going into the Tapu Fini.
Interesting. Possibly finishing for that defense drop, but I think he's just trying to do as much damage as he can since he knows Muck will protect.
So Tapu Fini going into the Arachnoid spot with our Moonblast, getting a special attack ball, which I think Arachnoid is usually run special attack or attack.
Physical, we saw the liquidation. It's probably got Leech Life, now that that's 80 base power, which is amazing. You might even see it with Lunge, but I think usually people go with Leech Life for the recovery.
So I think Shawn protecting that Muck this turn was interesting because that leaves him open to attack next turn unless he decides to switch out or something.
Well,
Would-
yeah, Finny to Mudsdale, I was thinking it would be a safe switch, but really with Araquanid there, he was already fishing for that switch, I think, with the liquidation. So Finny's just going to protect while Muck presumably works on the Magnezone.
So Liquidation going into Muck this time because obviously it wasn't going to protect. Dropping a berry from Muck's side. That Arachnoid, I think, is a fun Pokemon to kind of run too, because it's not something I think when it first came out, we were just like, oh yeah, this is definitely something that we all want to play around with.
Yeah, it's a weird Pokemon. Its attack, it does a lot more damage than you expect it to, thanks to its Water Bubble ability, which the effect doesn't even list the fact that it boosts water moves, which is really bizarre, but as soon as we found that out, there was a phase where Araquanid was very common on Trick Room teams, and it's nice to see it come back.
And it's holding on through that attack, so it does get off another chance to hit Shawn's Pokemon. But I think Shawn's still kind of comfortable because both his Pokemon are like at pretty good health right now. He's still got two more in the back. And then Arachnoid kind of just holding on for its life, and that Mimikyu in the back with only a little bit of HP left. So
Oh, yeah.
switching in for the Porygon 2.
Yeah, that can easily take Magnezone's Thunderbolt and Flash Cannon.
So saving that Tapu Fini probably for later.
Araquanid.
I cannot say that Pokemon name properly, apparently. So, 2 protects on the side. Shawn switching in for that, switching the Finny in for the Porygon 2. Hidden Power coming out, finally connecting.
Oh, this speed. We don't know because it's
Probably
not super
would have been
effective.
it probably would have been super effective on the Finny, which is why Shawn had switched in.
Well, you know, there's probably hidden power ice for that Mudsdale because on its face, Mudsdale would be a very good switch in. You either eat the Thunderbolt or take a bit of damage from the Flash Cannon. But hidden power ice would have caught Shawn off guard. So Porygon 2 was a good switch.
So this Magnezone, though, I think it's surprising that we haven't seen an electric type move from it yet.
I think he's really just still fearing that Mudsdale switch in.
Switching out from the Magnezone then for the Hariyama.
Hariyama to deal with the Porygon, so...
So we did see last match that Hariyama is running Assault Vest. So, not burn like I've usually seen on them. So Araquanid got it finally. Fainting on this one. The knockoff going onto the Hariyama. So getting rid of that Assault Vest that we've seen. Getting the critical hit. And finally, like, stalling out Trick Room. So we might see that Mimikyu come back to try to set up Trick Room again. But I think if Shawn's Porygon 2 is also running Trick Room, they can just cancel it out.
Yeah, I think the thing here to do...
Your buttocks open.
I'm actually not sure what the turn order is here. I'm guessing Muck is the fastest Pokemon on the field. It's either Muck or Hariyama, so Peter could go for close combat into Porygon 2, or you could fake out the Muck and attempt to deal with it with Magnezone, because if Porygon 2 did set up Trick Room, it wouldn't really bother Peter that much. Shawn still has Finny, so I think it's in his best interest to just leave the speed normal.
Yeah, and to have Porygon 2 maybe as like a Trick Room counter. For that Mimikyu in the back still.
So he might actually switch out, well he would switch out for Finny right now, but Magnezone is looking pretty threatening. So Muck protects.
Well, I think Peter's like in a hard spot right now just because his only remaining Pokemon in the back is at very low health and is kind of threatened by that Muck and by like Tapu Fini.
Absolutely. Alright, Porygon 2 flinches from Fake Out and Muck takes no damage thanks to its Protect.
What did Magnezone do this turn?
What?
Oh, Magnezone.
Yeah, the Magnezone Thunderbolted or Flash Cannoned into Muck's Protect.
Okay. So, I think Shawn kind of playing it really well then. Right now with like all his switch-ins, all his calls, kind of seeing where Peter's going with his movesets and saying, okay, cool.
Here comes the Mudsdale and he predicts it and Thunderbolt's Porygon.
That Porygon 2 is still in a really good spot though. Like it holds on really well and it's gonna the Hariyama getting the heavy slam off.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, if he were to use close combat here, it would almost be a waste because Porygon's so low and Hariyama needs its defense, whatever it has left. So heavy slam was a good call.
So Muck coming back out onto the field with that Mudsdale. So that Mudsdale last match we saw, Peter had no problem activating stamina a couple of times to get that defense up. So I wonder if he's going to change his strategy this time and try to take it out a different method.
So we have seen what is likely hidden power ice from the Magnezone. That will do some damage to Mudsdale, but I'm not sure it'll be enough because Hariyama will need to take out Muck to protect Magnezone from the knockoff. And also, Mudsdale's probably bringing Magnezone down to sturdy this turn.
Well, we do have that Tapu Fini in the back, which that Magnezone, if it's running any sort of Steel type move, will take care of pretty well.
Magnezone Thunderbolts into Muck's Protect. Mudsdale goes for high power.
Getting
Magnezone dodges the high horsepower.
That might actually be really, really important right now.
That could be a turning point. I don't think Muck will faint to close combat, but there's always a chance.
Well, I think Muck is one of those Pokemon that is very sturdily built because it's meant to take out items and it's meant to just kind of be on the field for a while.
It has already lost its berry, if I recall, so that's one thing Peter's Hariyama has going for it.
But that Magnezone dodging, I think might have Shawn kind of like rethinking what he might do. That Hariyama is still pretty low health, but that close combat, like you said, does really threaten that Muck.
And Peter brings back Magnezone for Mimikyu.
Not wanting to risk another, like taking a high power to the face.
Knockoff goes into Hariyama. Will it KO? Yes, it will.
Except the knockout on that. So now we're going to get that Magnezone back for there. The high horsepower probably taking care of this Mimikyu as well. Not a lot left on
There wasn't much for Mimikyu to do, so sacrificing it probably was the best thing Peter could do in this situation. So now it's Magnezone versus the world.
Which is an okay place for it to be. It's trying its best. But I think Shawn is kind of showing that making the right calls really does help in this, especially when it comes to switching your Pokemon. I know that some people have a lot of trouble kind of being like, oh, I'm gonna switch this Pokemon in, and I think Shawn's kind of just showing like, hey, no, it's okay. Like that's something to be comfortable in.
Yeah, Mudsdale has been absolutely killer here. There wasn't much Peter had that could deal with it. We've seen the Hidden Power Ice, presumably, from Magnezone, but not much else.
Choice specs on there. Cool.
And here comes the high horsepower to win the game.
Picking up the knockoff. All right, and Shawn winning the best of 3. Good job, guys.
First match of top 8.
I like Magnezone. I think the Magnezone is a nice choice.
Just didn't really pan out here.
I think it's just because Shawn did do a lot of really good switches. He made right calls from Peter's side, being like, I know that your Pokemon can do this to mine. So here, let this other Pokemon take the hit instead. I was hoping that Magnezone dodging that high horsepower, he would have capitalized a little bit more on to attack it. Excuse me, because I think he could have picked up a potential like KO if he had doubled up into that style. But to be fair to Shawn, he did still have that Tapu Fini in the back.
Yeah, so. Shawn did very well with switching Tapu Fini and Porygon 2 in and out. Those two Pokemon are very bulky and could take a lot of the hits meant for other targets. And yeah, Shawn just commanded that battle, I think.
I think Shawn's team was built really well in a way that it could have combated a lot of what Peter's team was running. And I think Peter's team is kind of like a lot of what you see, kind of relies on Trick Room. And so without that, then you've got not a lot you can do because you're just waiting out.
Yeah, Peter's plan was to use Trick Room to win the day, but Shawn used Trick Room against him.
So will we see them? We'll see you guys for the next match in Top Cut. Cool.
And we'll be right back.